Now, Russia's President Vladimir Putin has ordered officials to submit proposals for the resumption of nuclear testing. The move from Moscow comes a week after the US President Donald Trump suggested the United States would restart its own nuclear tests. While the US military has tested nuclear-capable weapons, it's not detonated atomic weapons since 1992. For more on all of this, we can bring in our international affairs editor, Philip Turle. Philip, what do we make from the move, this announcement from the Russians?
Okay, well, this is, in the words of Vladimir Putin, concerning three weapons that the Russians have developed. The first one is the Burevestnik cruise missile, which is a nuclear-powered, nuclear-capable underwater drone, which is designed to carry a nuclear warhead. The second one is called the Poseidon super torpedo, which the Russians say will create, if it's used, an underwater tsunami and can destroy ships and cause widespread damage. It can travel at least 200 kilometers an hour, which is faster than most surface vessels. And the third one is called the Oreshnik, which is a nuclear-capable missile used last year in Ukraine for the first time, which Russia says it's going to now begin serial producing. Now, the thing to notice here is that Vladimir Putin is saying all of this, but these missiles are not new. They've been developed for several years already, dating back to 2018 in the case of the Poseidon and the Burevestnik missiles, which means that Russia hasn't just come up with this in the last couple of weeks, having designed these weapons behind the scenes and surprising the international community with them. There's another aspect here which is complicated for the Russians, and that is that it's not sure whether or not they have the technical know-how to be able to produce these weapons and to use these weapons without them causing devastation in Russia itself. Now, analysts have been looking at this and saying, what is Vladimir Putin playing at right now? Okay, he wants to start nuclear testing. Russia hasn't done nuclear testing since the 1990s, like the United States. And what appears to be the case is when we've seen the negotiations between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin, Donald Trump has been playing to the hands of Vladimir Putin all the way down the line since he got back to the White House in January until the last meeting where Donald Trump was turning up the pressure on the Russian president to try to reach some kind of ceasefire deal and peace deal in Ukraine. And what appears to be the case here is that Russia is now flexing its muscles, saying, okay, this is a warning to the West that we have the nuclear weapons. You should not be arming Ukraine. You should not be involved in the war in Ukraine. This is a warning to NATO and to the United States that Russia is serious about what it's doing. And if there is going to be any kind of effort to rearm, send more weapons to Ukraine, Russia is going to use these nuclear weapons. The problem here, Delano, is that if it does use these nuclear weapons, they are Armageddon weapons. They are the things you would use at the very end of a nuclear conflict to destroy the world. And no one in the US is going to do that.
But I understand that there is this tendency to put the finger of blame on Moscow, but this move comes after the United States last week said it was going to start testing a nuclear weapon. So are we going to see some nuclear arms race happen here?
But this is Donald Trump is very unclear. It's a confusing message coming out from the US president because he's saying basically we're going to test nuclear weapons. Does that mean he's going to test the weapon systems, or is he going to just actually conduct nuclear explosions? They already test the weapon system, so that would not be new. He's talking about the Defense Department being in charge of this, but in fact it's the Department of Energy that is in charge of US nuclear stockpile. So all of that is unclear. And then Trump is saying on Truth Social, they all seem to be doing nuclear testing that we halted many years ago, but with others doing testing, I think it's appropriate that we do also. But neither China nor Russia are confirmed to have carried out recent nuclear tests. The only country that is doing nuclear testing is North Korea. Yeah. So it's all very unclear about where this is all leading from the US president. And coupled with that is the fact that these statements came out prior to his visit to China, and that might have also been Trump trying to put pressure on the Chinese over the tariffs system that he's trying to introduce into China to reach some kind of an agreement on tariffs. So we don't really know where the US president is going with this.
We'll see how